Hey guys, it's Meg. I am here this week with a new video for you. This is going to be our standard tarot reading for the week. So if you guys want to get your message from the cards, come on in, get comfortable. We're gonna talk. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have some fun. Hopefully, this is gonna be fun. So if you do find this message, it is meant for you. Before I get into it, though, I do want to say that I've listed all of my social media links and my website in the description. So if you want to keep in touch with me outside of YouTube, you totally can. I've listed the decks that I've used here. So if you wanna see what I've used and get it for your collection, if you have one, if you want to start one, that's totally cool. Look in the description, it'll all be there. And bonus points, we have a bonus reading, so that will be time-stamped as well. Finally, if you like what you see in the video, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and the bell buttons so you can stay in the loop for when I post new work. Um, Doing that is actually really helpful for me because it lets me know that you guys like what I see in the video, like what I'm making, like what you see, like what I'm making. Okay, so let's start with an oracle reading. This is going to be giving a baseline energy. You know what's going on with you. What's going on with you? Very basically, we're going to get into the tarot as a way of supplementing it or finding out what you can do with this energy. Just let's get into it. Also, one more thing while I'm pulling cards here. I do take private readings. If you're interested in that, please know that that is optional. It's not an obligation. So if you're not comfortable, getting a private reading done with me, that's totally okay. I'm still here for you if you feel I can help with anything. So there is that. Let's see what our oracles have to start us off with. Okay. So first things first, we have action. Okay. We have coming to life. Okay. We have amethyst, trust your intuition. Okay, and we have the lion spirit. This is calling us to be generous. Okay. So right off the bat, I feel like things are going to speed up and things are going to stop being in a waiting period for you. Now granted, we're not in the tarot, but immediately I'm thinking of the Eight of Wands energy, and that's a lot coming at you, a lot's happening. Things are no longer going to remain stagnant, and I like that you are getting this card right now because it suggests that at least for you, at least what I'm sensing for you personally is that you've been in a holding pattern, you've been waiting for something to happen, and now is the time that where you're coming out of that period of stagnation and you're starting to have to take action on the things that this time is bringing in for you. Now, pardon me, sorry. Whatever that looks like for you, it's going to possibly give you a lot of freedom, a lot of hope, a lot of certainly a lot of energy. Excuse me. And it's going to possibly allow, immediately what I'm getting is a reconnection to childhood or things that you enjoyed doing in your childhood. This could be childhood or a reconnection with your inner child in some way, because to me this figure is dancing. This figure, it's just, there's a lot of freedom. There's freedom of movement, freedom of thought, freedom in creativity. you're compelled to take action on it, because now's the time when the stagnating energy is finally moving, right? Um, and you're going to, yes, this feels good. It's a lot, but there's a call for you to be trusting of this time, because it may feel a little uncertain. There's a lot probably still up in the air. Okay, and I'm getting here possibly because this card is suggesting a lot of flowing energy, a lot of flow, a lot of movement. Okay, and whereas before you might have felt just sort of pushed along, and you may have resisted this energy. Now it's like, you know what, instead of trying to muscle my way through this, instead of trying to force myself to just deal with it, now it's like, maybe I'm going to stop resisting. Let's stop resisting. Let's see where it goes. I trust myself. I have enough self understanding and trust that I can kind of take the flow a little bit easier. Okay, this is trusting your intuition. So wherever this leads me, wherever I go next, however I do, however things play out, I know that I can trust myself. I know that I have what it takes to move ahead and move forward. Okay, move forward in a way that is generous, is open-hearted, but also gracious and kind to myself as well as everybody else. Okay, you have a good heart. You have a big heart. You have a very courageous and open heart. Okay, immediately I just heard the word lion heart in my head for some reason. So it's a time where you are certain. I feel like you're coming out of your shell a little bit more during this time, and you have a lot to give. You do have a lot to give, and that's come from trusting yourself and going with the flow. Okay, so let's get into our tarot to see how we can supplement this energy. If you've never seen a tarot reading with me before, if you are new here, hi, thank you for coming. I usually read on multiple decks, which you probably can guess. But I will use specifically the tarot to get some more supplemental energy for the oracle, and then clarify, and the last 2 or 3 decks I use will be for your energy in specific. So let's start by getting some supplemental ideas for your oracle, and we'll go from there. Okay, okay, we have a bunch of cards popping off, so let's do that. So, okay, so the first card out of the tarot, we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, we have the 7 of Coins. That's interesting. Okay, and we have the 4 of Swords. Okay, so you've definitely made some progress, and I'm getting the fast, rapid energy movement from the Queen of Wands here. Okay, there has been a lot of movement forward. You've used the intensity and the depth of your passion to move yourself forward. I'm going to bounce this card around a little bit here, and now you're at a point where you've made progress, it's moved quickly, you've gone with the flow, you've done the work to get yourself here, and now you're at the point where it's like, I'm not really not real comfortable or sure. Let's go with sure. I'm not real sure. Not real sure where to put my energy next. And this is where I think the 7 of Coins is going to help you a little bit. Because you are being asked to to rest a little. And by resting, I think you're going to be able to kind of reflect on where you've been, how you've gotten yourself here. But you're also going to be able to more easily make some assessments on where you are and where you want to go next. In all of that, you'll be able to game plan your next move. Okay. And the bonus points for this Four of Swords energy is that you're in a safe place to do this work. It still feels potentially like a lot might be up in the air, but it doesn't feel like you have to muscle your way through as hard. If that makes sense, you're not brute forcing anything right now. It is. It just is. And yeah, it just is. And you're going with it a lot easier now. Okay. So let's see some hidden and clarifying energy for the first part here. Okay, our hidden energy is justice. So you're striking a balance right now. Again, whereas before you might have felt just sort of pushed along, tumbled along, now you're addressing the energy in a way that is balanced, and in a way that allows you to answer for things that have come in the past for you. So whether that's a negative behavior or a negative perspective you used to have, now it's like, yeah, that I did think that way, or yeah, I did do those things, and now it's like, no more. I'm answering for this and balancing the karmic scales. Okay. So that this. I like seeing this. I like that you're in a space potentially where you can do what the Justice card is calling for you to do. But let's see our hidden. We just saw our hidden energy. Clarifying energy is the Knight of Swords. So again, there's some action that's being taken, specifically where a perspective, a mindset, or a paradigm that you've been trained on, that's shifting, that's changing, and I think part of this is that you're welcoming the change because you've known for a long time that things have had to. Okay. So there is the Knight of Swords as our clarifying energy. Okay. So let's get into why we are seeing for this reading right now. We're going to go back to each card and clarify what we're seeing. So to clarify the Queen of Wands, okay, clarifying the Queen of Wands, please, what we need to see. Why is this beautiful lady here, beautiful person here? Okay. All right. So the Queen of Wands, to clarify, here's the Queen of Wands. Clarifying, that is the Hierophant. So there are some rules and regulations that we've operated under. To me, the Hierophant represents a personal truth, a sense of your morals and your values, and I do think that this is guiding you. This has guided you in the past. This is what we're talking about, trusting your intuition here. You know what you stand for. You're courageous in fighting for those things. Maybe not necessarily physically fighting, but you know that this is the thing that I stand up for. This is the hill I'm going to die on. This is the sword that I'm going to fall on if I'm called on to. But it is Um, yeah, the Queen of Wands, this is your personal rightness, and this is part of what you have used to make forward progress. This is part of the reason why I think you're more easily going with things during this time, okay? Because you know that you're secure in your personhood, and you don't have to question that, as you don't have to question it as heavily as you used to, okay? So there is the Hierophant, okay? Um, okay, we also have the Knight of Wands. I had to look again real quickly because we have the Knight of Swords as our clarifying energy. But the Knight of Wands here, you're taking action on your inner fire. You're taking action in a way that honors what inspires you and what gives you the passion and the drive to move forward. I think I like that the Hierophant comes out together with this, because I think this is suggesting that you know your limits, you know what boundary to come to. Um, you know what boundary to come to, because I think at this time there might be a tendency for you to go and go and go and go until you burn out. That's not helpful. That's not healthy. That's not okay. You know, it's not doing you any good use. And if you're being called to move forward, if you're being called to take action, you know, that's great. I love that that you're heeding that call. But you can only go so far on a tank of gas. Your car can only get you down the road so far before it runs out, right? You have to refill it. And this is why that Four of Swords is coming up too. Okay. Yes, you're taking action, but don't forget to balance it with rest as well. Okay. The other phrase I'm hearing that is you know, you have to strike a balance between your divine feminine and your divine masculine energy. Okay. So there is a balance to be struck, but you know when your limit is going to be reached. Okay. So let's see the Seven of Coins. Let's clarify why we need to do some game planning right now. Whoa. Okay. Got a number of cards popping off. And perfect energy to get. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So you want to be able to enjoy the things you have built so far. And there's still more work to be done. Certainly there's more work to be done, but you're at a point now where you can take the pause. Okay? You can take the pause because you've put in the effort to. Okay? And it's like, yeah, I can do this. I can give myself a break. I can enjoy the luxuries I've built. And, you know, maybe this is simple pleasures. Yeah, this is simple pleasure. This may be a trip that you've worked hard to pay for. This could be anything, okay? But the point is that you've worked hard to build it, okay? Enjoy yourself a little bit. Give yourself a pause. Enjoy yourself a little bit, and be sure to be sure to game plan your next steps, because you know you have a little bit more work to do before you reach your end goal. Okay. There's the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. And we have the Lovers coming out as well. This could be a romantic partnership, maybe a sexual relationship. That is yours to decide. But ultimately, there is a choice to be made in that you're weighing the pros and cons of your situation right now. Like, if I take this option, if I do this, what's, you know, can I find a middle ground, or do I only have left and right? Yeah. Oh, I'm about ready to sneeze. I'm gonna take it. Excuse me. Okay, left or right, weighing pros and cons. I'm going to take that sneezing reflex as confirmation that I'm on the right track. But um, you do have some choices to make, some things to weigh out, and it is some of this isn't going to be easy. It may present challenges for you, but again, remember that the Hierophant is clarifying the Queen of Wands, so you're already able to move forward because you're comfortable in your personhood. And while this choice, these things may still be difficult, um, you're going to be able to make the choices a little bit easier because you're comfortable with yourself. Okay, so let's clarify our Four of Swords here. Why are we seeing the Four of Swords? Okay, so clarifying the Four of Swords, we have the Princess of Cups or the Princess of Cups or the Page of Cups. So there's still some things that you may need to internalize. There are definitely some lessons learned that you're now learning to apply, specifically to where your emotional and spiritual growth is concerned. Okay. Um, you might, maybe in the past and up till now, you may have been reactive. You may have been quick to get angry at things, or things may have looked so difficult that it's just like, I'm gonna go to pieces. That's fine. You're feeling your emotions differently. That's not to say that you're processing your emotions differently. Because probably before this energy showed up for you, you may have had trouble processing anger, processing negativity generally. But now it's like, okay, I've learned some things. Let's try applying them. I don't need to be reactive. I don't need to be impulsive. I need to be. Okay. I just need to be. And that's how that's how you're processing what's going on around you right now. And you've gotten to this point because you've given yourself the chance to rest and the chance to be to be to be again, just being. Okay, so there is the Page of Cups or the Princess of Cups. Okay, let's see what else. We also have the Princess of Swords. So again, you're learning how to manage your thoughts and your emotions. Okay, and this I'm sorry, some of these cards are depicted in the nude, so I'm going to be censoring part of them. I wish I could show you the full cards, but unfortunately, YouTube algorithm don't want to piss that off, right? So, Princess of Swords, learning how to better manage your thoughts, and especially learning how to better managing your thoughts and managing the emotions that come from what you're thinking. Okay, um, that's important. That's important because again, times are changing, times are moving quick, and you've got a lot on your plate to handle right now. Okay, so yeah, this is important, and you may only get that opportunity if you step back, game plan, give yourself a rest, and just keep going forward. Okay, so there's the Princess of Cups. I'm sorry, that's Princess of Swords. There you go. Okay, let's see why we are seeing our card for justice here. What else are we seeing here? Card for justice. Let's clarify. Okay, justice. So to start clarifying the card justice card here, we have the Seven of Wands. Now there has been some conflict, specifically I think external conflict here, because there have likely been others in your space that are calling you. They're calling you on why it is that you want this movement so badly. You've had to defend yourself. You've had to be in an uncomfortable place with other people, and that is very, very unexpected. I think this part of this part of your story has come unexpectedly, and you're being called out for doing certain things in the past. Why we're getting justice, okay? But at some point you just had to say, I can't fight for this long. I can't fight for this long without seeing a result, but I can't keep fighting people who don't really want my success, who don't really care if I succeed or not. And to give, this reading is not about me, but to give a personal example, I've been feeling behind a lot. Lately the thoughts have been for me that I've been feeling behind from the rest of my family. Finally got to a point where it's like, no, I'm right where I need to be. I think that's where, and I believe very strongly that that's where you are with your energy right now. It's like, no, I'm exactly where I need to be. And the people who don't see that, or who don't really care about that aspect or that mentality, just they're gonna give you crap for it. The people who don't want you to glow up anyway, no, they're not gonna care. Okay, but that's where the conflict is. That's where your comfortability and your personhood is going to help you move through, because the path you're on isn't for anybody else necessarily. They can support you. The people that want to support you will, and the people who don't care, just let them go. Let them fall away. You're not living your life for them anyway. Okay. So there's the Seven of Wands, and we also have the Seven of Cups. So there are still some things to make, still some decisions to make. And I think what's especially helpful in knowing your personhood is knowing what option to take, what's the best option for you right now. Left, right, down the middle, striking that balance. You're going to know how to do that, because at this point you've worked very hard to get to a level of personal understanding. Okay. The advice I always give for the Seven of Cups is that yes, you have all these pretty shiny things, but you have to be careful too, because not everything is going to be good for you. Not all that glitters here is going to be gold. Okay. What I'm noticing here is that there's the glyphs for, I'm going to say that's, I'm going to read this as Divine Feminine, and the glyph for Scorpio. So get deep, get reflective. You know what's going to be right for you, because again, you've come to an understanding of your personhood, and yeah, get deep, get reflective. You know what you're going to, you're gonna know what you need to do here. Okay. So there is the Seven of Cups. Okay, and clarifying our Knight of Swords. Okay, finally getting there. Why are we seeing Knight of Swords? Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what, this deck has been real spicy for me lately. Because I keep getting cards popping out of it, which is good. That means the message is gonna be good here. Okay. Four of Cups. Um, Interesting that we get this for the Knight of Swords. You're thinking, you're a thinker, and now it, is evidenced by the past cards. You're thinking and how to take action. Okay, um, here is an important. Here's an important part of the reflective process because, again, going back to understanding your personhood here, you know what's not right for you. You know it's not okay. You know what is going to serve you, what best fits your purpose. Okay, and you know that you've been dissatisfied and disillusioned by things in the past. Okay, it is you know that not everything in your situation is going to be good for you. I'm gonna read an extra card because that one's slid off the top. You know, deep down, you know what isn't good for you. You know that it isn't going to, whatever this, whatever these things, whatever options you have right now, you know it's subpar to what you know what's subpar, and you know how to take action on the things that do serve you and the things that don't. Okay. And you've only come to that because you've come to that because you've given yourself the chance to do the work. Okay. I hope that makes sense. That is the Four of Cups. Okay. And we have together, we have the we have the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So because you know what's right for you, because you know how to take action, the things you have built and the things that you are taking action on now are just making you the happiest little clam in the ocean, right? Um, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of peace, there's a lot of I'm going to use the word satiety. There's a lot of sated energy here, and that's good. You've filled your needs, and now you can take action on new goals. Okay. Okay. Let's go with that. I hope that makes sense. I hope this is coming. That's gonna fall. Never mind. We're gonna put that down here. Again, the deck I've used currently here is the Hermetic Tarot by Godfrey Dowson. So, and I haven't used that deck in a while, so it's a little spicy. A little spicy. Let's get a water break, and we'll get into the final two sets of cards as the energy for you in specific. So, how do we use this energy of forward movement, of personal growth, and happiness? Cheers, friend. Okay. So, let's see what we need to see for you in specific. How can you use the energy we have just seen for this reading? Okay, let's go one more shuffle here. Two more shuffles. No, one more. Okay. First card out, we have the King of Swords. Based on my observation, the King of Swords has come out quite a bit. Quite a bit in personal readings here. Um, what is interesting here is that part of this personal discovery, part of this getting comfortable with yourself here is that you have worked so hard. You have worked very, very hard to get mastery over your mind, and mastery over what you're thinking, because ultimately that trickles down into what you're feeling and how you're acting on those feelings. Yeah, so you've mastered quite a bit here, and that's good. That's really good to see. Um, I'm saying that again because your oracle energy suggests movement and going with the flow a little bit easier. Okay, so there is the King of Swords. Okay, we have also the Magician. So you've gotten your mind in a good place. You're now part of your personhood is that you're now seeing your capabilities. You're now seeing what you're strong at, what you might need to strengthen a little bit. All good. All good things. I love it. I love it very much. Here's your Magician. Okay. See something else here. Okay. Yeah, okay. So you got in your mind right, you understand your capabilities, and now you're moving out of the pitfalls that you set yourself up in. Okay. Um, yeah, you've because you've gotten a grip on your thoughts, because you've gotten yourself to a place where you can see things for what they are, but also see the perspectives differently. You're now seeing that no, the swords don't hold me. I hold the swords. I hold the swords. Okay. You know, words and thoughts are weapons. One of them hurts myself, the other one hurts other people or hurts ourselves. That's a double-edged kind of thing here. But again, I'm an authority over my thoughts. I'm an authority over my actions, and I can move forward without being harmful to myself or others. Okay, like I said, the swords don't hold me. I hold the sword. Right. So there is the Eight of Swords. Okay. Now for our hidden energy, we have the Five of Swords. There's going to be some things that may still be you may still be a little heart sore over. You may have a tendency to just not be happy with some things, because in making this forward progress, you are going to lose things that you thought were secure. That might be disappointing, but I think down the line, it's going to help you far more to lose those things than it would be to keep them. And part of the reason I say that is because if you're going with the flow a lot more, some things don't tend to matter as much, right? That sounds nihilistic. That sounds really rude. But what I mean here is that it's not, holding on to that thing that you thought was secure is now it's like, okay, no, it's not. To the breeze with you then. And I'm making it sound easy. No, it's not, right? Sometimes it's not, and that's for you to reflect on. Okay. So, Five of Swords energy, that's our hidden energy. We have the Five of Pentacles. Again, there will be some things that perhaps make you feel stuck again. But the thing is now, whereas before you'd be like, oh, I'm trapped, I'm stuck, now it's like, okay, I may feel stuck again, but I know that I'm capable of coming through it. Okay. I know that actually. I know I'm going to say that again. I know I'm capable of coming through that. There's your King and the Magician, specifically King of Swords. But I know that there is help. I know that there is hope. I know that there is a warm, happy, beautiful place for me, and that I can come in from it whenever I want. The door's not locked. All I have to do is knock and I will be let in. Okay? So there's the Five of Swords. Okay? Now let's see our final deck here. How else can we supplement your energy? Okay? It's another, I use this particular deck in a little bit either, so there's some spicy energy on top of it too. Oh, what did I say? Okay, here we go. All right, so the first card we have is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so now that you've been in this place of personal discovery and self-reflection, you've gotten to you've gotten to a level where you can be open, you can be generous, you can give and receive in equal measure, because there are things coming out for you that are so good and so healthy. Okay, and again, oh guys, wait a sec, hold on here. Generosity, lion spirit, be generous of spirit. You're giving. I love that. You're giving and receiving in equal measure. And you've only been able to get to this point because you've worked so hard to understand yourself, your personhood, your sense of right completeness. Okay. The synchronicity, guys. I love that. I love that so much. Okay. And it's this time of reflection has been so healthy for you because you needed to do it. You've absolutely needed to do it. Okay. And by that it thing, I mean the reflection, the possible shadow work. I'm hearing that this time, the energy at this time is coming full circle, which I do like to see. And so there's the Six of Pentacles. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, we have the Six of Cups. Feel like we got this coming out a little bit earlier here. There's generosity, and there's coming back to your inner child, treating your person openly and lovingly, giving yourself the chance to just be, right? That's allowing you to take action on your goals now. Okay. Yeah, and we're getting the Four of Swords coming back out again too. All of this work has gotten you to a place where you can take a break. I went into this a little bit earlier in the reading, but I'm glad it's coming back now because I think that's an important message for you, is that resting and congratulating yourself on your goals is going to help you reconnect to your younger self, to a time when things were just that easy. Just that easy, right? Okay, one more shuffle here. One more shuffle. Okay, so hidden energy. We have the Two of Cups coming out. So the hidden energy is that now you've learned enough about your personhood that things don't look the same, and that's great. I think in this context that's great, because now that the perspective and the paradigm has shifted, you're now being called to take what you know, take what you brought with you into the situation, and integrate lessons learned from that. Okay. Because to me, this card is about blending, harmonizing, making a union out of two separate things that are equally as unified. You're blending things. At this time, I feel it's prudent to blend things, but not necessarily lose the heart of what these things are essentially. Again, I hope that makes sense. Okay. So there's the Two of Cups. So hidden energy and the Nine of Cups. Two of Cups and Nine of Cups. Ultimately, we are ending this reading on a high note, because this time is deeply peaceful and deeply, you're in a place of satisfaction and and well-being. Love to see it. Okay, I'm going to end the main reading here because we do have our bonus reading to go. So let's see what our bonus reading looks like. First of all, thank you for sitting through all of that. If you made it to the bonus reading, I very much appreciate you. So let's start with our bonus oracle. We have Blossoming Abundance. We have the Spirit of Place. Okay, we also have Black Kyanite, and this is calling us to set strong boundaries. Okay, and we have the Starfish and be open to the infinite possibilities. Okay, so I think, oh, that's funny. We have Blossoming Abundance and the Spirit of Place. Again, I'm going back to the idea of being at home in your skin, being at home with your personhood, being safe to act in a forward manner, because you know who you are, you know what you're about. Okay, and by that, you've brought in a lot of good and wonderful things. Your garden is growing. You have new plants, new seeds, new roots. All of that is coming to fruition. But it feels fresh. This energy feels very fresh. So there are limitless possibilities and limitless ways this energy could go. Okay. The way that I think you're going to maximize this energy right now is by setting boundaries for yourself and boundaries for others that it may seem harsh at first, but when you start taking action, when you start reaping what you're sowing, when you start bringing in new lessons and things like that, it's like there's some things you will be receptive to, other things you might hear and not necessarily have the mechanisms for processing right away. Now, where it comes to person-to-person interaction, this could be telling people what you want and what you don't want. Signaling to people how to treat you. Okay, and that's the boundary that you want to cross. If you want respect, you do have to give it, getting and giving in equal measure. Okay, but ultimately, ultimately, by setting boundaries and by setting boundaries and being open to the possibility of this blossoming abundance, you'll see success. I have very strong feelings you will see success. Okay, so let's get into our tarot, we have the Eight of Coins, okay? We have the Queen of Wands, excuse me. We have the Hermit, interesting. And we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, so let's talk about our Queen cards here. Because we have we have a lot of fire and we have a lot of water. We're feeling a lot and we're feeling them intensely, okay? What's interesting to me here is that the fact that we have a fire element card and a water element card together, you know, where one of them is going to cancel the other out. If that's the way you want to look at it. What I'm seeing here is that there needs to be a balance struck between what you're feeling and how deeply you're feeling it, how intensely you're feeling it. Because we already know water, it runs deep. This is a deeply emotional, this is a deeply emotional time potentially for you. You could be the kind of person that just feels all the things all at once, but you feel them so deeply that it's hard to, that it may be hard for you to step back from them and analyze them in a manner that is a little more, a little less impulsive, I'm going to say. And that this is where I still feel the intensity coming through here. You have trouble separating your emotions from what they are, you know, stepping back, okay, stepping back from your emotions, being like, okay, yes, I'm feeling this. How deep does this go? How intense am I feeling this? And what can I do to allow myself to just analyze rather than react, right? Okay. What that's going to take here is stepping back again, pulling yourself back, zooming out a little bit, okay, and assessing, certainly assessing the game plan, but putting the time and effort into understanding it, okay. You have a lot of good things. I do want to say that right now, I do feel this energy is really positive because you have this new, beautiful, amazing garden that you're growing, and you do have a sense of comfort in your own skin. There's still a lot of ways this could go, and ultimately by putting up a boundary for yourself and for others, telling other people how you want to feel, telling yourself how you want to feel, and telling others and yourself how you want to feel and be treated, let's put it that way, you're going to start understanding, the depth and intensity of your emotions. And by pulling back, by zooming out, you're going to be able to do the work you're called for, because this is going to be, you're going to see things a little more clearly, and the path is going to be entirely your own, okay? So, that is it. That is all I have for you. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far in, I love you. I hope you're doing okay. Again, thank you so much. All of the supplies, all of the links, that's all in the description. So go ahead and check everything out if you're interested. And then let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'm happy to help in any way. So until our next video, guys, I will see you very soon. I love you lots. And I will, love you lots. Bye, everybody.